Having relocated hundreds of people to Kelowna, here are the top 10 biggest mistakes that they've made when relocating here. So without further ado, it's Coons here with Selling Kelowna Real Estate Group. So the number one thing is underestimating the cost of living. This is the thing that comes up a whole lot. British Columbia means bring cash. Even if you're moving from Alberta or Ontario, you're gonna expect to spend a lot more money depending on groceries and type of food and gas, to be able to live in the Okanagan. Yes, if you're moving from a big center like Vancouver or Toronto, the cost of living is probably gonna be a lot smaller and a lot less than what you'd expect. But if you're moving from somewhere like the prairies, like Saskatchewan, where we moved from, or other areas like Manitoba, the groceries and the cost of living is going to be more expensive than what other people will expect. The number two thing is thinking that Kelowna is all sunshine. This is probably one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people have until they really experiencing it. And having experienced the Okanagan, this is somewhere where it will really surprise people during the winter. And this is where winters can be very dark, gray, and icy type of year. Yes, it is more of a temperate climate, especially during the winter, and it is part of the edge and tip of the desert. It is very desert-like conditions on it, but you do still get all four seasons and the gray and just the way that the valley sits. A lot of times people in the winter time can get socked in for months on end. So in December and January, those are really times where it is gray and it can really drain you physically. So you do need to be aware of that before you're buying and getting into the real estate market and spending winters here. That's where a lot of snowbirds will continue to go south for the winter, and then they'll come back for the spring and summer once the airflow and once the cloudy and grayness of the Okanagan and being in the valley and getting socked in is done. Then they'll move back and relocate back into the Okanagan and spend the remainder of their 6 months. The number three thing, and this is obviously always top of mind during the summer, but it's ignoring the wildfire risk. Ignoring the wildfire risk is one of the biggest things somebody can make and really be concerned of. Speaking as well, being in the valley, sometimes there is smoke, but it's sometimes the smoke from wildfires is not only from the Okanagan, it is from other areas through the States or other areas throughout Canada. When you're looking at the wildfire risk of it, it's not only the risk of wildfires, but it's also the risk of smoke. And speaking of the valley and how this in the winter time, how the sun and the clouds will really just get socked in and really just get cloudy and gray during the winter. Same thing sometimes will happen with smoke coming in the summer. So you need to weigh out the pros and cons. And with the wildfire risk in the Okanagan and in Kelowna, yes, we did have wildfires a couple years ago back in 2023. In the early 2000s, there's more wildfires there. And there's always that continued risk that you'd have. So you need to make sure you're aware of it and making sure you're getting proper insurance. And if you're really concerned on the wildfire risk, making sure you're purchasing and relocating to a property that is a little bit less risk for wildfires. The number four thing is buying before experiencing it. When you're looking at relocating to the Okanagan, a lot of people are really driven by the views and the types of homes that are really being offered in the real estate market. But when you are looking to buy and relocating to the Okanagan, you also want to be able to control and experience the living and life of what it's really like to live there. So a lot of people will try and come down for a weekend and just spend some time and look at some properties. They don't get a full vibe of the home and the location and the properties. So if you are under time constraints and you need to buy, there are opportunities, and part of a relocating strategy that we offer for people that are looking to relocate to the Okanagan, that it makes it a little less time consuming and it makes the overall experience. So if you are interested in getting that relocation experience, comment relocation, and I would love to send you the guide to help you through it, or pick up that phone and give us a call and see what we can do to help you make relocation to the Okanagan your dream. The number five thing is not researching proper neighborhoods before going. Lower Mission is not West Kelowna. West Kelowna is not Rutland. There are different opportunities, different properties, and things that will fit whatever you need, whatever kind of lifestyle you're looking. If you're looking for an investment property, you're going to be looking at different areas. And if you want to either build a single family home or build a community and lifestyle where you're at. So making sure you're researching properly and experiencing those conditions of what types of homes are really meeting your needs. Because a lot of neighborhoods will have older homes be redone, or they're going to have brand new homes in certain neighborhoods. So it's really targeting whatever you're looking for in the marketplace. And that comes down to the relocation guide. The number six thing about living in the Okanagan is Overlooking the Job Market. Kelowna is not Vancouver. Kelowna is not Toronto. Kelowna is not the prairies either. So there's different opportunities in the Okanagan and in Kelowna for real estate market, but also job opportunities. We have tech industry. We have different industries that are really driven in the local economy and is contributing billions and billions of dollars, like the tech industry, $5 billion in 2024 to our local economy here. So even if you're not in the tech industry, but you're looking to relocate to the Okanagan, there are definitely a lot of different opportunities for moving to Kelowna and in the job market. So you need to make sure you're researching what kind of jobs will continue to be in Kelowna moving on in the longer term. Things are shifting, things are changing, so it's not the same industries as what been driving it for the previous 20 years. The number 7 factor of things people need to know before moving to the Okanagan is the transit system. Transit is not great at all. So if you're expecting quick transit, quick opportunities to be able to go wherever you need to go, remove that thought and process on it. Kelowna is a really car-centric town, and it needs a lot of vehicles to be able to get from A to B. There are opportunities, whether it be e-bikes or different opportunities for people like the Lime scooters that they offer during the summer seasons to be able to get and move around. But public transit in Kelowna is not the best to be reliant on. So if you are reliant on public transit, you might want to make sure you're in a central part of the city. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of your time and a lot of your commute going from A to B just to make it, but you're going to lose a lot of that benefit of time. And then why are you really moving to the Okanagan if you're not spending it doing what Okanagan things are? The number 8 thing that's really impacting the Okanagan is thinking the market's always going to go up. It's a firm belief, and I believe the real estate market is a strong indicator for future growth. And I believe that real estate in Kelowna will continue to rise over the long term. But that is over the long term, and it's going to be dependent on cycles. So the biggest mistake a lot of people did was overpay in 2022 and 2021, where the market cycle was up, and believing that the market was going to continue to go up. And there's so much demand and so much overpaying. A lot of people overspent, and now we're starting to see a lot of chicks coming home to roost and experiencing and pulling out a lot of that equity and foreclosures in the marketplace. So the real estate market is a good driver of the economy, but you also have to be making smart, educated decisions on it. And knowing the cycles in the marketplace, overspending at certain times is really not the best time. You want to be like Warren Buffett. When everybody's buying, you want to be stepping away. But when everybody's stepping away, that's when you want to be buying. Always do the reverse of what the general population is doing. The number 9 thing about factoring into the Okanagan is the lake life and the tourism in the Okanagan. So not factoring in the summertime where you experience a high growth in the economy and a high growth in the population living in Kelowna. So when you're looking at the Okanagan, the lake life looks great, but getting in and around in the summertime is a lot more difficult than what it is during the early springtime and the fall and winter time. So if you are experiencing and commuting, you definitely want to change your habits, especially if you live in West Kelowna, you're trying to commute on a Friday of a long weekend to Kelowna for whether it be work or job or maybe a kid's activities. There are going to be things you need to know beforehand. You need to know beforehand, not leave in the morning before moving over and going from West Kelowna to Kelowna because of the rush from coming from Vancouver for the weekend. So those are little things that you need to know before moving here, especially during the summer. And the number 10 thing that you need to know, the biggest mistake people make is not doing the proper education and not researching for types of projects that you're going to do, renovations you're going to do, and just assuming it's all going to work out. And that's where we'd factor in on the real estate market and give you knowledge and experience in helping you relocate to it and helping you decide if Kelowna is going to be the right option for you. There are opportunities to be able to do it yourself, but you're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of research. So pick up that phone, give me a call, and I do sign up for a weekly email that's going to give you market-specific information directly into your inbox. And I'd love to sign up for it below and get you on that list there so you're making educated decisions throughout it. Having moved here 7 years ago, there's no other place I'd love to live than right here in Kelowna. So there's opportunities here, but you need to know what are the pros and what are the cons of what it's like living here so you're not making uneducated decisions and regretting it down the road.